Now on CoastTV News.
Canopy crackdown.
The town was receiving multiple complaints about tents and canopies being set up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Dewey Beach says early morning canopies are breaking the rules. What new enforcement means for your beach day.
District 20's special election just days away. What to expect from a candidate forum tonight.
Tracking severe storms marching through our area. I'll update you on where they're going.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
We are looking live outside into Cambridge. Some ominous clouds out there. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with that rainy weather all over Delmarva, and we're just going to check right in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Christina and Maddie. What we have right now, a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning has just been placed at our feet. It's for Dorchester and Wacomico. Starts now, doesn't end until 7 o'clock. This is the cell that pushed through Cambridge, which you just saw a view of it. It's already pushed past Cambridge and then began to explode and become stronger from there. A little wider view of this, you can see it also reaches up towards East Market, Federalsburg, and this is tracking to the east-southeast at about 15 miles per hour at the very least, but the entire line, we're expecting it to make its way through Hurlock by 6:02. Then it'll begin to step through Sharptown by about 6:16. Then we anticipated around 6:30. That's when we'll start feeling the effects of this in Laurel, going towards Chesapeake Heights, and then it'll begin to make its way over towards Pittsville. This is a cell, and where it's located right now, it's affecting the folks that are in Greenbrier Road, Bucktown Road right now. Stone Boundary Road is where we're seeing the heaviest of the storm right now. It's going to be tracking over here towards Strawberries Road, along DeCourcy Bridge Road, and headed towards Trips Neck Road, just to give you a street-by-street analysis of where this is going. We'll continue to track this throughout the newscast, and if we get another warning, we'll be sure to break in program and let you know. Maddie?
Thank you. On your screen now, a familiar scene on the coast. The beach absolutely full of people enjoying our beautiful coastline. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson live there in Dewey Beach. And Brandon, though, the town now is having problems with people setting up too early.
Maddie, tents are already banned here on Dewey Beach, but the town is now having problems with people putting up canopies in the early morning hours, all to try and hold a spot for a beautiful view of the ocean. Walking to the beach, sitting down under your canopy, and enjoying the water. On your screen now is a compilation of photos from the town of Dewey Beach. These are all breaking the rules. Dewey's law says canopies may not be set up and left unattended before 9 a.m.
If you're here, it's your spot.
Jessica Drager has visited Dewey for the past 20 years. She's fine with people setting up early.
I wish stuff wasn't as unattended, maybe, setting up and leaving it for hours. But, we like to set up early and take a walk on the beach or go to a restaurant, and we feel that, we should just be allowed to do that.
So far already this week, town officials have put this orange warning card on people's canopies that were left unattended before 9 a.m. The town says the next step would be fines, but they don't want to go down that route. Dewey Beach Town Manager Bill Zalper says holding spots is unfair to the people who are following the rules.
The town was receiving multiple complaints about tents and canopies being set up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning with nobody being underneath them and just taking up the whole frontage of the beach.
When it comes to staying in the shade in Dewey Beach, saving your spot might cost you your spot. The town says they think these orange warning cards are working because when they put these at certain canopies here on the beach on Monday, they were turned on Tuesday, and at those same canopies, they saw people there. Live in Dewey Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Now, the town of Dewey Beach has banned all tents except for baby tents measuring 36 inches. Also, all canopies must be set behind the lifeguard stands.
And it's not just Dewey Beach. Canopy conversations are happening in South Bethany. That's where leaders are pitching in on whether or not to regulate canopies and tents on South Bethany beaches. Some possible rules include size, how long canopies are allowed, and how many sides they can have. Ocean City and Fenwick recently adopted beach and tent canopy regulations as well, and that discussion coming from concerns that larger tents can obstruct views or access to the beach. But one beachgoer says any regulation is an overstep.
I think the umbrellas are a little bit more dangerous than the larger tents because of the, pole that goes in doesn't always get secured. I think the larger tents actually have a better foundation, so it's safer for everybody on the beach.
The proposal is expected to be talked over at a town council meeting next week.
All this brings us right to our Coast TV poll tonight. We want to know what you think is the best way to stop those early tent setups.
Let's take a look at the results so far. 68% say more enforcement, 24% say bigger fines, 3% say public reminders, and 5% say allow earlier.
You can change up these results. We want you to vote. Go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app, and we'll have updated results on Coast TV News at 11.
If you've driven through Dewey Beach, you might have noticed construction right up against Coastal Highway and Rodney Avenue. That's for the future 3-story town hall that broke ground in May. The second phase of the project would include an EMS station, the first of its kind to come to Dewey, actually. Coast TV spoke with a man who says this really is essential in Dewey.
We tend to have a lot of needs for things like that in terms of response times because of obviously the ocean and a lot of the activities, but also because of the bars.
Dewey officials say the 2-year, $11.4 million project is still on track.
Right now, you're looking at a map of Delaware's District 20. It covers Milton, parts of Lewis, Harbison, and Georgetown. It's home to approximately 23,000 registered voters. This is the area where a special election is happening right now. And here is some information about each candidate in that special election. Nikki Miller, she's a longtime educator and former Cape Henlopen High School principal.
Miller told Coast TV she hopes the experience she gained from past campaigns will better her chances in a special election. Alana Berry is her opponent, and Berry founded the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence. That's a free public charter school in Georgetown.
And Berry has experience in Dover working on policy and budget under former Delaware Governor John Carney.
Which of those two women will represent District 20 will be decided in just 5 days.
Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Milton. Emma, the candidates are participating in a forum tonight.
Maddie and Christine, I'm here at Milton Elementary School where this candidate forum between Democrat Alana Berry and Republican Nikki Miller is less than an hour away from starting at 7. This forum's hosted by the League of Women Voters. You may see them in the background setting some things up. Now, we know that they have come with questions to ask the candidates, but the public can also write in questions at the forum here. Last week there was a candidate forum that focused on business-related questions where Miller and Berry were separately asked the same questions. That's not the case tonight. They will be here in the same room on this stage with a moderator. So this may be the first debate-style conversation that we see between the two women, and we will be here, we will be at the event, so tune into Coast TV News at 11 for more. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Emma. And here's how we got here. The District 20 seat was held by Stell Parker Selby, but Parker Selby missed every single day of the legislative session this year after suffering a stroke. Parker Selby then resigned on June 24th.
The Department of Elections says about 22% of registered voters in the 20th district have already voted. That means over 4,500 people have gone to the polls. From now until August 3rd, early voting is from 11 to 7. There's only 2 early voting locations. Those are Lewis Elementary and Mariner Middle School. Election day itself, August 5th, many more polling places are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. For more on early voting, the special election, and details on each candidate, check out coasttv.com.
Well, after a successful pony swim yesterday, today's Chincoteague Pony Auction broke multiple records. Here's just one of the foals that was up for bidding today. The highest bid for a buyback pony was $100,000. The highest for a take-home pony was $50,000. Both of those were new records for the auction, and nearly 100 ponies were up for auction today. $1 million was raised. One winning bidder says being here is a dream come true.
I've been following these ponies for years. I've been watching these auctions online. So the first time I came here was when I was 12 years old, and I haven't been back since. I'm getting the chills. And so this was like a bucket list to come here.
Now tomorrow, the adult ponies from the herd, they'll swim back to Assateague Island, where they will live until it's time for next year's pony swim.
The mayor and city council of Lewis are having a special meeting on August 5th to discuss further and possibly accept the conservation easement for the 4th Street Preserve. That's the largest open space in downtown Lewis. If this easement is approved, the city will own the land, but it will be managed by the Delaware Forest Service with trails and benches. The meeting on this is Tuesday, August 5th at 9 a.m.
Every week you can get a pick-me-up on Fridays with Coast TV's Feel Good newsletter. It's full of features, cool things to do, and more, and you can sign up for that newsletter for free. Go to coasttv.com/sign-up.
And we are just getting started this evening.
Coming up in sports, Darren Wallace has USSSA bracket play highlights from an exciting final week of Eastern National Championship action.
Severe storms threat for tonight. We have a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning for Dorchester and Wacomico until 7 o'clock. The storm is over Bucktown right now, headed towards Copeland, Mardella Springs, and Quantico.
But first, Mayor Memories, the nonprofit, celebrates 25 years of rescues and rehab in Delaware. We have their great story in just 60 seconds.
There are so many unique things along the coast of Delmarva. Take our waters, for example, where we have marine animals, sea turtles. And in this week's Coastal Connections, reporter Emma Aiken introduces us to an organization that has spent the last 25 years protecting those things right here in Delaware.
Flipping through memories. And there is a lot of them for Suzanne Thurman. She's the founder of the Marine Education, Research, and Rehabilitation Institute. Most Delawareans know the nonprofit as MARE, and MARE is celebrating 25 years this year.
It's been a really wonderful and heartwarming journey.
That journey began from Thurman's love for animals and the environment. Back in 1995, she was volunteering for the state and recalls a moment that changed it all.
I remember rescuing that seal and I thought, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and it just really resonated with me, and I'm very fortunate I found a way to be able to do that.
4 years later in 1999, Thurman and a loggerhead sea turtle crossed paths. The creature, cold and stunned, had no resources in Delaware at the time to help her.
So I had to bring her home and keep her alive in my laundry room overnight, and that not ideal for her, but I tried to keep her moist and comfortable. And I remember she had barnacles all over her shell, and they were clattering because they were out of water. She served such a big purpose because I could see how much these animals needed care right away, and how many of them could be saved or at least ease their suffering. And also document them.
That sea turtle rescue inspired the start of MARE, having no idea it would shell out to more than 5,000 rescues over the last quarter century, including whales, dolphins, porpoises, seals, and sea turtles. But Thurman says you just can't save every one of them. That's why prevention through education is so important.
The legacy that I do want for this community is our education center. And that will be such a resource here.
Thurman says she couldn't have done the last 25 years without the community's support. And she's proud to say that MARE's had more than 500 volunteers.
I love knowing that we're in this community, and that I know that we've had so much support, and that support will just continue on and on. I don't see people all of a sudden not caring about these animals. So it's a wonderful partnership.
Thurman explained that being on call 24/7 certainly doesn't come without its hardships, but as she reflects on the pictures that weave together MARE's 25 years, she's reminded of what's important. What's been work for MARE has been a life saved for many of the coast's cutest creatures. For Coastal Connections, I'm Emma Aiken.
Throughout this evening on the air, as well as with our app, we've been tracking severe thunderstorms. And right now we still have some areas where we have an active severe thunderstorm warning, but basically for everyone, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch. The watch means all the ingredients are in place for a severe thunderstorm. The warning is when we have an actual storm that we're tracking, just to give you a delineation between the two. Milford starting to get cloudy and dark very quickly because that same line of storms that prompted the severe thunderstorm warning is now easing its way slowly towards Milford. Here's the latest severe thunderstorm warning for Dorchester, Wacomico, for places like Mardella Springs, Quantico, Capitola, Copeland, as well as Best Pitch. And here's the latest look at how this is pushing across right now. This is the line that's becoming more active at this point. A couple of my coworkers are asking, well, is it getting better or worse? It's getting better in Sussex, but it's getting worse to our west. So we still have development. You see how it's all small, then this red line becomes thicker. That's showing the lack of stability that's in the atmosphere surrounding that front as it pushes through. So that's the line, the squall line that I'm tracking right now. Expecting it to move through Quantico at 6:43, Laurel at 6:52, Salisbury by 7:08. And I suspect this is going to be a significant rainmaker because instead of moving at 30 miles per hour, it's slowed down and it's now moving at 15 miles per hour. So it's going to be a big time rainmaker. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for all areas. We'll keep a close eye on that. And there's a flood watch near Chincoteague right now as well because of the tremendous amount of rain, along with the winds picking up at about 25 miles per hour close to the coast. A little more detailed look at what's expected here up towards Milford. We can see this is that line that's approaching Milford from Dover, but in Dover and to our north in Newcastle County. They actually have concerns for widespread flash flooding to occur with a warning in effect for our area. Temperatures are in the 80s right now. Here's the latest futurecast pushing it through. One model is indicating we have 2 waves at 8 and then another one at 11. That's one of our models. And we're looking for excessive rainfall throughout the majority of the state. And for our neck of the woods specifically, just a slight threat of excessive rainfall. Well, what does that translate into? Well, bottom line here is that we're looking for this line to slide through by 6:30. 8:30. This is a different model. All the models are in agreement with the timing of this, but the amount of rain has changed. We initially were concerned about 4 inches of rain. It's been downgraded to 2.8 or nearly 3. So as this pushes across, let's say Highway 13, we're looking for it to really dump some rain along the beaches by 8 o'clock. All that being said, here's a look at your extended forecast. When we finally shake off the thunderstorms, we'll have much cooler air to enjoy.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. We're in the dog days of summer, but the action never stops. Let's kick off your Thursday night with more USSSA softball. It's the 18U Maine Thunder taking on the 18U Team GSC from New Hampshire. This was bracket play this morning at Henry S. Parker Athletic Complex. We'll start in the bottom of the first with the Thunder striking first. This ground ball bouncer back up the middle by Addison Caiazzo would make it a 1-0 lead. Then later in the inning, we didn't catch it on cam, but it was Charlotte McGreevy hitting a bomb over the left field wall that would extend the Thunder lead to 3-0 after 1 inning. Then let's fast forward to the top of the fourth. Runners on the corners, and a bit of a weird play here. The runner at first gets caught in a pickle. The runner at third would come home to score and cut the deficit to 4-1. Team GSC finally gets on the board, but the Thunder would get it right back in the bottom half. This is a ground out to the pitcher, but it's good enough to bring home Drea Rideout to make it 5-1. Then top fifth with 2 runners on base. Rideout misjudges the ball at first, but she's going to get back and make the catch. Thunder go on to win 5-1. That'll do it for sports. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Another place these storms are about to make a pit stop is actually in Salisbury. Right now we see the cloud cover changing over very quickly, and we're looking for those scattered showers to stick around till about 10 o'clock there. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for everyone until at the very least 8 o'clock. We do have an active thunderstorm warning for Dorchester and Wacomico as it's moving through Griffin Neck Road towards Lewis Wharf and Cherry Walk Road towards Quantico. Keep that in mind that it's going to continue to be an active storm at least for the next hour and a half. Larry Brown is our umbrella giveaway winner from Dagsboro. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration. Keep up with your forecast with our weather line. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Much cooler after the rain clears out.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download that Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.